And when you allow your problem to become bigger than your purpose, you cause yourself undue pain. So some of you are at a crossroads because you're at a pain point. But it's because you've allowed your problem to be bigger than your purpose.
Wow.
When my purpose is big enough, I can't stop. When my purpose is big enough, I can't just sit and procrastinate. When my purpose is big enough, I can't overthink it because I have accepted that this is going to work out some way, somehow.
Welcome to another episode of the Build My Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Harry Dent III, joined as always by the bridge builder himself, Zach Brewster. Zach, talk to me.
Well, man, I always want to thank those who are following, those who give us positive feedback on the message, and those who let us know that it's been an impact to your life. Listen, we do this for the impact. Yeah. We do it for the influence. We do it for the adjustments that you can potentially make in your life. And let's be clear, we just talked about this. We're still growing, so as we grow, we're going to let you know what it takes for us to grow so that you can grow. We all grow together. So listen, Harry, I want to get right into it today. You are almost at the midpoint of the year. We're about to get into June of 2026. And I am challenged when people find themselves at a crossroads and feel like there's nowhere to go.
Come on.
So they find themselves at places. And I believe that a lot of people, because of things that don't happen the way they thought they would happen, they just get to a stopping point and they say, I'm at a crossroads. And oftentimes it's easier to not do anything because you're afraid to do the wrong thing.
Come on.
And so the message today is take a turn. I believe there are 3 turns you can take to turn your life around. But you got to take a turn. You can't just sit at the crossroads. You can't just watch everybody else go by.
Wow.
You can't just keep backing up. You can't be afraid of your own shadow. You can't be afraid of your own success. You can't be afraid of what your past has taught you. You got to take a turn. And so today, that's what it's about. We're going to talk about taking a turn because I believe that there are many people watching us. You're at that crossroads and you really don't know what to do. And I'm going to give you 3 turns that you can take. Take a turn to shift your life. So that's what I want to get into, Harry.
Man, I love it. And I just echo what you say. Shout out to the people who've been supporting, who've been reaching out. The brand is growing. We're growing. And we're just super grateful to be able to offer this content to you.
Absolutely. So listen, there are 3 turns, Harry.
3 turns.
The first thing you have to do is turn in. Turn in. And what I want you to turn in, I want you to turn in your excuses.
Woo.
I want you, and these are actionable items. I want you to take a moment at your crossroads, and I want you to write down every excuse that you have not to move. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough education. I don't have anybody to support me. Nobody will call me back. Nobody has given me any advice. It seems like they're next to me. And I want you to turn them in. Because as long as you have excuses, you will never have excellence.
Come on, sir.
So I need you to turn it in. I need you to turn in your excuses because what happens is we often have a lot more excuses than we do execution. We have a lot more excuses than we have excellence. We have a lot more excuses, and I just need people to turn that in. So Harry, I know we talked about this a couple of podcasts ago.
Yeah.
Everybody got all these reasons why they're not, but help the people.
Yeah.
Help them turn in these excuses.
You know, it's so funny, Zach. I had wrote this down on the way here. Like, I literally wrote this down in the notes section of my phone. Your excuses rob you of your execution.
Whew.
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 You have to turn in your excuses because it's robbing you of your execution. There are so many people, and here's the season I'm in right now in life, Zach, if I'm being very transparent on the podcast. I'm in a season of realizing if I don't do it, if I make excuses to do it, God is going to find somebody else to do it. God is not going to wait for me to continue with my excuses, to continue with my disobedience. He will simply find somebody else to do it. And so I'm talking to somebody right now. In the middle of the year of 2026, you have an opportunity to turn in your excuses. Stop talking about what you're not doing. Stop talking about what you don't have. And Finally get yourself to a place of saying, I'm going to do it even if I don't have the resources. I'm going to do it even if I don't have the support. Even if nobody is liking it, I will be my own cheerleader in this season, because I realize that when I turn in my excuses, it can get me to really turning up my execution. Let me just say that one more time so somebody can turn up this summer, because I know y'all about to be outside anyway, and I know y'all about to be on the outside time. Turn in your excuses to turn up your execution.
Yeah, no, that's real, Harry. And that's the thing. So many people have leveraged their success on the opinions of other people.
Wow.
And so the reason we can't turn in our excuses is because we have these fleeting thoughts that we're comparing everything that everybody else is doing to what we're not doing. I literally just told someone that the other day. They were talking about all these things that they have not accomplished. And I said, listen, if you keep thinking about what you're not, you will never become who you're supposed to be.
Wow.
And so you have to turn in those excuses so that you can execute. But it's not just turning in the excuses. Not only should you turn in, but we got to teach people how to turn off.
That's good.
Turn off. Listen, I hate to be gender biased, but this is for many of my ladies out here. I have 2 daughters. I have a lovely wife. I have a very close female friend. So this is not a knock on females. It just is what it is, especially you guys as a group. Turn off your overthinking. Turn off your overthinking. There are many of you that get very little sleep. There are many of you that get any true rest because you are always overthinking. I know men do it too, so I'm not saying we're extinct from it or exempt from it. But at the end of the day, you have to turn off your overthinking. Many of you have missed opportunities because you overthought it.
Wow.
Many of you have missed open doors because you overthought it. Many of you have walked away from people that meant you well because you convinced yourself that they meant you harm. Many of you have walked away from people who were trying to support you because they look like somebody that hurt you in the past. And so you're going to have to turn off your overthinking. Some of you, your body lays down, but your mind keeps running. Some of you, you clock out, but you never really walk out. You hit the clock, you walk out of a building, but the building goes home with you. And that's why your house is chaos. That's why your children don't really get the you that they deserve. That's why you never really get any rest time. Listen, this whole idea of going on a R&R vacation once or twice a year to really be able to turn your mind off is a lie. Let me be very clear. You need consistent rest. You need consistent joy. You need consistent happiness. You need a consistent opportunity to do things for you. And if you never turn off your mind, it will always be racing and telling you a story that's not true. Some of you are victims of your own narrative. You created this narrative. Nobody really said that. Nobody really told you that. You created this in your own mind. And Harry talked about God a minute ago. Let me say this. When Eve failed in the garden, it was because she was overthinking. The enemy asked her, had God given her any ground rules? She said, we shall not eat of the fruit or even touch it. Nobody told her she couldn't touch it. They just told her she couldn't eat it. And because she overthought, she overstepped. And some of you are overstepping because you're overthinking. And I want you to turn your mind off. I want you to get yourself to a place where you start clocking out of your daily chaos and start getting to a place where you have some real you time. Some real time for you to really refresh, relax, and refocus yourself on where you're going. Harry, talk about that a little bit.
Nah, you really went there. I was literally going to say you got to turn off that chaos for peace.
Yes.
And I'm realizing in life that a lot of times we have learned how to function in chaos.
Yes.
And so we have to be careful of this thing. I always say this because I remember hearing it on a prayer call one time. It said being busy, and that's being under Satan's yoke. And what happens is whenever we find ourselves busy and we find ourselves going and we find ourselves running and we find ourselves in this grind culture, we don't ever find moments of stillness. We don't always, it's sort of like that comparison I said one episode with Martha and Mary. It wasn't to say that Martha was a terrible person. She was just too busy thinking that her approval was going to come from service. Her approval was going to come from performance. And I want to talk to somebody somebody and let you know that your approval does not come from performance or does not come from serving. Your approval comes from sitting. Your approval comes from resting. And I want to free and unlock the chains off of somebody as we continue to have this conversation. You have to turn off the need for approval from people. You got to turn off the need from validation from people, and you got to look for the approval. Let me say it like I really feel it. Turn off the anxiety to turn on the anointing. Ooh. And when you can turn on the anointing in your life, you can realize that it does not matter what man say about me, as long as I have the approval of God, as long as I have the approval to look into the hills from which cometh my help, as long as I have the approval of being still and knowing who's really in control of my life. Stop trying to be control of everything. Turn off the control. If you don't do anything for us at this point of the year, turn off. Stop trying to grab the steering wheel when you're sitting in the passenger seat, when there's somebody already driving you to your destiny, when there's somebody already driving you. And what's happening is that people are trying to reach over, and they're causing accidents, and they're causing crashes, and they're causing disappointments where they're supposed to be riding the purpose.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's real. And when you allow your problem to become bigger than your purpose, you cause yourself undue pain. So some of you are at a crossroads because you're at a pain point. But it's because you've allowed your problem to be bigger than your purpose. Wow. When my purpose is big enough, I can't stop. When my purpose is big enough, I can't just sit and procrastinate. When my purpose is big enough, I can't overthink it because I have accepted that this is going to work out some way, somehow. And that leads me to my last thing that Harry kind of stole. He hadn't even seen my notes. We're turning in, we're turning off, we're turning up. I need you to turn up your focus.
That's good.
I need you to turn up your focus. I talked about this a few motivations ago. I was in a room and everybody was talking, and I wanted to hear the TV. And I didn't, I wasn't mad that they were talking, but I needed to hear what was going on. So I had to turn up the volume so that I could drown out the noise that was around me. They were still talking, they were still having their conversations, but all of a sudden I could hear more of what I needed to hear versus what was distracting me. And there's some of you that are watching this podcast right now, you have allowed your focus to be at a low volume. And everybody's opinions are louder, everybody's thoughts of you are louder, all of your past issues are louder, all of your obstacles are louder, and what you're gonna have to do is turn up. I want you to turn the volume up on your focus. I want you to be so, let me tell you something. A lot of times in my life I'm on autopilot. I'm on autopilot because I'm so focused on what I got going on that there are times I didn't even see anybody standing there. I didn't even see anybody that was coming my way, and I said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean not to speak, because I'm focused. You got to get your focus so to a point that you're so focused on what your goals are. You're so focused on what your purpose is. You're so focused on your destiny that distractions don't even matter. Yeah, I see that over there, but I'm still going. Let me say this, Harry, and I'm going to let you close this out. I can be somewhat of an aggressive driver, and my wife is watching this, she'll laugh at me. We recently took a driving trip, and I get aggravated when people slow down because something else is happening on the side of the road. If you don't want to end up on the side of the road, stop looking that way.
Come on.
I hope those people are okay, but they ain't got nothing to do with me. I see those blue lights, but they didn't pull me over, they pulled them over. I see that roadblock, but it ain't blocking my lane. You got to get to a point where you turn up your focus and stay so focused that even the things that could cause you to look to the left or the right, I'm focused on where I'm headed, I'm turning up my volume, and my purpose is louder than my problem.
Yeah, and I'm going to say a little something, but I'm going to toss it back to you because you dealt with the focus of the individual. I want to really hear about the focus of the people around you. And I love the volume analogy that you use with the remote, because there are some of you right now who need to mute some people around you. You need to hit the mute button and stop letting everybody talk in your ear. Stop letting everybody get in your spirit. So Zach, I was thinking about this because I remember seeing this acronym and it said OQP. You in this season need only quality people around you. Zach, teach and talk about how do we have quality people in our circle, how do we maintain quality people in our circle, and how do we become quality people for our circle.
Well, let me say this. We talk a lot about circles, and see, now you triggering me here. We talk a lot about circles, and I want to say something that you need to hear. Circles are seasonal. I want you to hear this, because this is what I hate when I talk about circles, and I think I want to apologize when I push you in the wrong direction. When I start talking about your circle, what often happens is I give you a license to accuse the other person of not being good enough. Oh, you can't be in my circle because you're not like me. No. I got to understand what I need for this season. So I got several trips planned out over the year. There is a time of the year that I'm going somewhere that I'm going to need dress clothes. So I'm taking a suit bag because my clothes need to lay out. They need to stay crisp. I need to take some blazers because the environment that I'm going to requires that. There's another trip that I'm just throwing shorts in a bag. I'm going to be at the pool. I'm going to be chilling. I don't need a suit bag. I just need something. I'm taking a carry-on. It ain't even that serious. There are other trips that are business trips. So, Harry, I got to take my computer bag because I need my flash drive because of what I'm presenting on the screen. I got to take handouts because I'm teaching something in the room. Each one of those bags represents something that I need in that seasonal moment. I'm not asking you to kick people out. I'm asking you to call people in when it's the time for them to be called in. The problem with your circle is, and the reason you can't turn up your focus, because you got the wrong people in the room at the wrong time. And so you're taking people with you on a leisure trip that should have only been going on a business trip. And you're taking business people on a prayer trip that should have only been going on a leisure trip. And you got to know who to call in your circle at the right time. I suggest that everybody's valuable at the right moment. It's just a fact of you choosing that moment. And because I made people all things for all times, I have distorted my own destiny because everybody isn't pertinent for the right moment. That's just like me and Harry are in here filming. Ain't nobody else in this room because nobody else needs to be in this room in this moment. They'll see it when it comes out. There are other moments where we need several people at the table because we need to discuss things that will be pertinent to them to add value to the conversation. So when you choose the wrong bag for the wrong trip, you walk in dressed wrong and you make the wrong impression.
Take a turn.
Take a turn.
Yeah, close out. That's it right there, man.
Well, listen, if you want to take a turn in your life and get off this crossroads, you got to turn in. Turn in your excuses and get back to execution. You got to turn off overthinking. Take some time for you to rest, relax, and refocus. And then you got to turn up your focus and make sure when you have those people around you that you are choosing the right circle for the right season. We'll see you next time on Build My Bridge podcast.